MySQL for my classes. Okay, what is the official website? We have given this. After that, you are going to have two options. Okay, I'm going to show you with respect to the Windows. Okay, you have two options. In the two options, I would always recommend you to go for this one. Why? Because this tool will be installed in your system. This will be installed in your laptop. Like it's like, let me give an example. Let me give an example. Okay. Uh, if you're using Facebook, if you're using Facebook, let us assume in your phone, you can install a Facebook application, Facebook app getting from Play Store. Okay. And still you can go and use your Facebook. Now, what I'm telling, without app, can you use a Facebook? I rarely check my Facebook account once in a month, once in a year. Why will I simply store it as an app? It is going to kill my memory. So obviously, I am not going to use an app. Whenever is required, I will go and use web version. This is like a web version. That's why the size is very less. This is like a app which requires more. Okay, you need minimum 8 GB. Okay, and some good processor, maybe above 5, Intel above 5, something like a good processor. Okay, and you should have minimum like 500 GB at least space, like for a normal use, normal laptop, and with Windows 8 or 10 to install this MySQL installer. Some people who may face difficulty in installing, you can go for this one, web version. In both of them, you can see your news. You can go and post it your, but maybe this is a better this is a better one compared to web. Okay, in web what happens, maybe it will not be that proper, you will be still seeing the browser link. And the thing is, if you're going with this, this is also accepted, but I will always recommend this. Okay, so always go and install a app rather than web. If your system configurations is not supporting, don't go and buy a new laptop, not required. Okay, go with the web version, because you're going to learn. Web version will be same like app version only. The only difference is this will work without internet, because you already have installed in your system, so it is present as an application software. This software does not require internet while you're working, but this one, always you have to be connected to internet. Always you have to connect it to internet. Okay, so as I said, the recommended one will be app app one. Okay, if you install this app one, maybe I would say you can use it whenever you want. You need not even have internet. You can just, while installing and all, you need, after installation you need not even required, you can directly go and access your database. Okay, so this is about MySQL installation. Okay, now what I've done is, if you see here, when I click this, it will land it to my database. Okay, what I've done, every single step that is required to install, I have taken a snapshot. Okay, because it's going to take 30 minutes for installation. So what I've done is, what you have to search in Google, MySQL download for Windows. Okay, once you search this, okay, once you search this, the next thing is going to happen is, this you have searched, open the first link, download MySQL installer. Okay, as I said, this is a pop-up you're seeing here. Okay, in this pop-up, go for this one, because this is tool, this is a web version. Okay, Either you can log in or sign up or just download for free, your wish. Okay, if you're signing up, means you can create an account here. Why it is a free account only? Why means tomorrow if they are giving any updates, they are releasing some new features, you'll get a mail. That's all. Three options. Either if you already have an account ID, go with the login, or you can sign up, or you just tell no, I no thanks, I don't know, I want to download, I no need any updates. Okay, some people may face some issues, they would have posted in community. Some people they may be solving some issues. Those people can go with account, or else it's not required. Okay, so I was actively part of solving the problem, so I logged in. Okay, I logged in. I logged in and then I signed in. After that, I give the download now. After that, I give the download now. If I give the download, the file is getting downloaded. Okay, it is around 438 MB. The file is getting downloaded. Okay, the file is getting downloaded. The file has downloaded. I can see in my downloads. This is a MySQL installer file. This is a file, downloaded file, 430 MB file. Okay, now what I will do, it is in downloads. Simply I will put into any of the software, like any folder. I will create one folder and I'll copy that file in the my software folder. Okay, every single step I've taken the snapshot. Remember that. If you follow this, you can install on your own. Every single step you do, you also create a folder, you also copy this, do everything. Right? Now, once you do this, double click it, it is going to install. It is going to install. Okay. So now what happens? It will take some time. It will take some time. It is still in that position only. Now it started running. Now it started running. It's still running. Time remaining some 4 seconds. Okay. After this, you will get this pop-up. After this, you'll get this pop-up. Okay. In this pop-up, you need to choose what type of um, e- installation you are doing. Okay. Whether you want a developer, you want a server, you want a client, you want a full, or you want a custom, depends on what usage you are doing. Okay, we are not going to build any business here. We are not going to use it as a business. We are not going to work for any clients. We are here to learn. We are here to do a research. We are here to do a R&D. So I would always recommend you to go for developer version only. If you're working for some clients, go with this. If you want a complete server, go with this. And if you want full, go with this. And if you want custom, you go with this. If you go for all this, maybe the space required on your laptop should be more. If you're going as a server client full, basically you have to select whatever you're required. It will eat your space. Not required. In the real time, company will be having their own database. You are going to use that for the learning purpose, for the developing purpose. Just have a simple developer version. That should be more than enough. Developer version requires less space. Remember that. Okay, we are here to do research. We are here to learn it. So why are you going with full? You're not going to build any application, right? Okay, I'll expect you to install this developer version. So once you click, always go and click next. Keep an eye on always this next button. Okay, now this is a very important step. In order to install this MySQL, you have some requirement that has to be installed before only. Okay, that I would say Visual Studio. Okay, Visual Studio, some Visual Studio for tools, Visual Studio for some versions. Something has to be already there. Microsoft products. Some products has to be installed before only, before going with the MySQL database. That means it is dependent on some products. Let us say in my system, some of the requirements are not fulfilled. Okay, whatever it is fulfilled or not fulfilled, you always go and click execute. You always go and click execute. The moment I click execute, it will check for everything whether it is there or not. If it is there, if it is there, it will start ticking everything. If it is not there, it will only install. See, in my system, Microsoft Visual C++ 2015 to 19, this software or this requirement file was not there. Now it is asking to install this. It is asking to install this. This is a prerequisite to run this installer, MySQL installer. All this is a requirement, but I did not have one of the file. Okay, what I did, nothing I did. Directly, it only asked me a prompt where I have to give install. Okay, so now I'm installing this. This is not a database install. This is a prerequisite which you have used for a installation. You also don't worry. In your system also, it will tell which is present, which is not present. It is going to tell which is present, which is not present. This is a prerequisite requirement. Okay, now if I run this, okay, the setup is completed. This is actually a prerequisite to run the database, but I did not go to Google and I did not download all this. It only asked me then and there. I just give next. Okay, so this is a Microsoft's the tool which I had was missing. So I will again install this. Again I will install this. Installation process is completed. Now this Visual Studio is also complete. Visual Studio also is complete. Now see, everything is checked in. That means for all this requirement, all this was installed. Initially, if it was not there, it would have taken you to that requirement file and you just click the download. Now for all the prerequisites or maybe the check requirements, everything is present. Okay, now you go for next. All these are to be installed. Workbench, Excel, router, connectivity, everything has to be installed. Okay, so just go for execute. This is actually time taking step. This will take you some 15 minutes. Everything it will install. See, this is in installing. Then this is completed. It will go for the second one. Again, it is showing the progress. Again, it is completed. Now it is installing this one. Like this, I have taken the snapshots. Completed, and it is installing some connectors. Finally, all the steps are completed. All the steps are completed. Okay, now I'll go for next. The moment I click next, again it is going for installation is completed, type is completed. Now the product configuration and installation steps, two are there. This is the final completed steps. Now product configuration is there. Just go and click next. Three products will be installed. One is a server, one is a router, one is a sample examples. And always I would say go for the standard MySQL server connectivity. Okay, so InnoDB cluster is basically if you're working as a group. Suppose you're working for a project and one person access, maybe you will be required to provide other person access. Since everyone is in a different network, you'll be working from your home, I'll be working from my home, so many people are working on different their own laptop. So we will go with the standard mode. Standard mode means each and every laptop is a single-handedly standalone project. It's not connected with the system. Okay, so go with this, go with the next. Okay, developer computer only, you'd select, don't change anything, just go for next. Okay, and you have to set some password in order to log into a database. So go for next. It is going to ask you some password. Okay, please remember this. If you forget the password, it's going to be a huge process. Okay, so I would recommend you to keep a easy one and always remember this password, retype it. Okay, nothing else. Don't do anything, go for next. Don't do anything, go for next. And final step, you have to just execute it. All the configurations which you have selected above, everything will be applied. So one tick mark it will come. Okay, it is in this step. It has to complete till here. Okay, everything is completed. I will go with finish. I'll go with finish. Okay, so this in the product configuration, this one is completed. It will go to the second one now. Okay, so second also it's installed. You have to give the next button here. If you install next, it is connected to the server. The password which you gave, that will be the password. You have to check it. If it's correct, if the password matches, this is going to be connected. Now the database is installed in your laptop, in your system. Again, go for next. Okay, the final step, again go for execute. Okay, so if you click execute, it will try to install some scripts for you. Okay, it will run, and finally there is a finish. The moment you finish, finally all the steps will be completed. Okay, then go for the next. Installation is completed. Final step, installation is completed. Okay, if you complete the installation, it will just open one prompt like this where it will show it is installed, and that's all. This is what is a tool is. Welcome to MySQL Workbench. This is a final step in the installation. Okay, so remember one thing, MySQL is a database. Okay, MySQL workbenches which you are using for working purpose. It's like a editor. This is a final step. Okay, and I'm telling every single step I've taken a photo, snapshot, right from Google in what you have to search until the installation part, everything I've taken. Just follow my same process. You will not face any difficulty while installing. You will not face any problem. Okay, so remember one thing, SQL is a language. Okay, MySQL is a database. MySQL Workbench is a tool to write the code. Or so maybe you can call it as an editor where to write the code. Three things you remember. SQL is a language. MySQL is a database that we have installed. And MySQL Workbench is the, once you install, right, there only it will show. See here, the final step. At the final step, it is telling start MySQL Workbench after setup. Like it has only installed Workbench. You need not worry. It has only installed the Workbench. Okay, so I'll be sharing this document. Okay, please install it, because it's going to be the very first step you are going to take in this course. Installation is important because from tomorrow onwards, everything is going to be practical. No more theory, no more stories. Everything, everyone will be practically implementing on a database. Okay, so let's remember this. Let's remember this. Installation is a very important. Every single step I've taken it. Maybe it will take 30 minutes with including downloads, including running this exe files, going with all these configurations. You need 30 to 40 minutes. Please go step by step. Follow the same process. Then we will be installing the SQL Workbench.